Painting in watercolor is challenging enough. You don't want to make it more difficult by falling into one of these common mistakes. I teach watercolor painting classes on a regular basis. Most of my students are just getting started in watercolor, and time and again I see them fall into one or more of these traps. In this video, I uncover 4 common mistakes and help you know how to respond if you find yourself making them. But let me be clear, these aren't mistakes of technique or artistic skill. Rather, these mistakes have more to do with the artist's mindset and the expectations you have for your art journey. Okay, let's get started. Mistake number 1. A common mistake I see watercolor artists make is judging their work unrealistically. Now let me begin by saying I'm actually a big believer in artistic critique. I think a little honest critique and constructive feedback of our artwork can be very helpful. In fact, I seek out this kind of feedback. So not all judgment is bad. However, the danger is when we don't recognize where we are on the journey and judge our work unrealistically or prematurely. I've seen many beginning artists grow frustrated early in their painting career when they can't paint like, some seasoned artist or experienced artist they know. They compare themselves to someone who's further along on the journey. They don't appreciate the years of work that are behind another artist's success, and they are too critical of their own work. This is unrealistic and can be discouraging. So what do you do if you are making this mistake? I suggest always look for your growth points. When you evaluate a painting, always ask yourself, what worked in this painting? What do I like about this painting? You can always find something. What technique did I successfully use that I can put in my toolbox of painting skills and use next time? Every painting can be a learning experience, preparing you for the next painting. This kind of mental exercise can shield you from unrealistic expectations. Mistake number 2. Some artists treat every painting like it needs to be a masterpiece. This is a tough one. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves to create perfect finished paintings that match some vision we have in our head. This is unrealistic. The word masterpiece actually refers to a piece of work by a craftsman created after years of study, by which they were accepted into a membership in an art guild. They were deemed a master because of that piece, that masterpiece. It was only achieved after years of work and study. So I encourage you, give yourself time and room to learn. Give yourself freedom to make mistakes. See yourself as a student who is growing into a master. And at the same time, be prepared. You will create lots of bad paintings. However, if you keep working at your craft, you will get better. Learning is a process, and struggling is one of the best ways to learn. This mind shift will free you to create and grow. Mistake number 3, choosing to paint complex subjects too soon. My students make this mistake quite often. In my opinion, they attempt very complex subjects too early in their watercolor journey. Now, of course, you should paint whatever inspires you. It is important to choose subject matter that you are interested in. However, be aware that simpler subject matter gives you an opportunity to focus on foundational skills. Less complex subject matter gives you a chance to practice basic watercolor techniques. These skills, once mastered, then become a basis for future works of art, those more complex subjects. But if you attempt these challenging subjects too early, it can lead to frustration when your efforts don't meet your expectations. You might even give up. So I encourage my students to paint simple, still life subjects, subjects with simpler shapes and more basic composition. The skills you master in these paintings will translate into more complex works later. Hey, if you're finding value in this video, you might want to check out my collection of watercolor resources on my website at studio.krisdebruine.com. One of my free courses, Getting Started in Watercolor, provides an overview of the supplies and materials needed for setting up a watercolor practice. I also have a growing list of free and premium resources for the serious artist. There are charts and templates and lists of materials and free tips. I think you will find something to help you on your artist journey. Remember, go to studio.krisdebruine.com. Okay, let's get back to that final mistake in the list. Mistake number 4, expecting to figure it out all on your own. In today's world, where you can literally learn anything on YouTube, it is easy to think that these kinds of resources are all we need to grow in our art. In my experience, I don't think that's true. I have discovered in my own art journey that finding mentors and taking classes can be very helpful. I'm not saying you have to go to art school or get a degree. However, I think learning from others in a more formal way can be super helpful. This can be in the form of an in-person workshop, an online course, or a mentor who provides personalized feedback and guidance. It's the feedback that really makes the difference. What you get in a course that you can't get from a single video is a curated list of lessons and exercises that build one on the other. You get a curriculum that can bring you from one step to the next. Just watching disjointed videos cannot give you that experience. So I encourage you, find an artist that you admire, that knows how to teach, and sign up for a class. Yes, you'll have to pay for the class, but in my experience, when you pay for something, you take it more seriously and put in the hard work. You've got skin in the game, as they say. So there you have it, 4 common mistakes that I see student artists make all the time. Number 1, judging their work unrealistically. 2, treating every painting like a masterpiece. 3, choosing complex subjects too soon. And 4, trying to figure it out on your own. I have to say I'm familiar with these mistakes because I have made them all myself. And all of the suggestions I've made in this video are steps I have taken to grow. I hope you find this content to be helpful. If so, please subscribe and like the video. I put out content like this every week. Have a great day and keep on growing in watercolor.